Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a live comm. I do have it paused, so it's not exactly live, but we are going to go into a live comm. In this video, we're hopping back on board with Formal as Chicago takes on Minnesota. Before we do that, I do want to go into a little bit of a map breakdown for you. So as we switch over here, I'm in this trusty, handy-dandy Paint 3D, but essentially we're going to start at hill number 1. So with hill number 1, there are two different spawns you could get. You want to have this spawn back here just because it puts you closer to that second hardpoint, and the other spawn is over here on this side of the map. So both of these teams are going to be battling over this first hardpoint down here at the bottom. As that happens, what you're going to see is you're going to see this red spawn go ahead and send probably a couple people into that first hardpoint trying to contest time and get time. But a lot of people are going to push through these mid lanes trying to get around and flip spawns. If they can flip spawns, then they can take advantage and the majority of the time on that second hardpoint. So first hardpoint, what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you're locking down the spawns that are back here. As we go ahead and rotate into the second hardpoint, again, there are two different spawns. You're either going to get this back bar spawn, which is the better one to have, or you're probably, most likely, if you're pushed up, going to get spawned on Water's Edge over here. The problem with Water's Edge is that if you're trying to push into hill, there's only two ways you can go, and both of them are through this choke point over here. So you can go back behind, or you can cut this mid-street lane and go in that way. Either of those ways you don't really want to focus on just because whichever team has this bar spawn are going to be pushed up into these head glitches, and then they can go ahead and shoot you as you try to cross. And even if you do get in, there's one little choke point you can get through right here. So neither of those are ideal. As we rotate to the third hard point, so you want to have this back spawn just because getting into the third hill is much easier. You can also set up on these head glitches that are all around the map over here. So not only can you be inside the hard point, but you can also set up. You don't want to be the team that's spawning mid-map, just because if you're spawning mid-map, not only does it take you longer to get to the hill, but you have to rush through this mid-court. You have to rush out to this Water's Edge lane, which you're probably going to die just because of the head glitches that are set up on the other side. Or there's one thing that you can do is you can go from Lion to top hazmat and then go through the stairs here. That's what a lot of teams have been doing recently, and you're probably not going to control the map. You're not going to control this hard point, but you can get inside of the hard point. So that's what a lot of people are trying to do. As we rotate to the fourth hard point, again, it's on this side of the map. It's in bar, so you want to have this spawn if you can. So you can push into bar, but what you really want to do to control all of these 60 seconds is you want to send somebody up top blue. And then also if you can get somebody like Courtyard to top rails or somebody in there, that's great. But essentially, if you can get these power positions here, then as the enemy team comes from either this spawn, which is where the first hardpoint is, or from mid-map, as they push through these lanes, you can get shots down on them as they try to push through, and they won't even be able to get close to that fourth hardpoint. So what a lot of teams are doing is for that second and fourth hardpoint, so for this hardpoint and this hardpoint, what they're doing is they're just controlling this half of the map. Even if they give up a little bit of time in this third hardpoint, so they have the bad spawn here trying to go towards that third hardpoint, even if they have that spawn, it's not that big of a deal, just because you can still lock down 2 and 4. Then as we go into the fifth hard point, so the last one, again, this side doesn't really matter all that much, but you do want to try to lock down this side of the map just so that as it rotates back to 1, you're still on this side of the map so that you can take advantage of the 60 seconds and 2 and 4. So really, there's no reason to be on the left side of the map here. Yes, you can control 3, but it's not beneficial for 1 and it's not beneficial for 5. So in St Petrograd, you want to hold down the right side of the map. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and get back into the video. All right, so as we go ahead and transfer over into the actual gameplay, you'll see that we're hopping on board with Formal, and what they're doing right now is Formal is just watching the cross. So that shot that he just took, somebody is trying to push mid-map. You just saw Envoy there in the middle of the map, but essentially what they're trying to do is they're just trying to cut down on those people trying to push out their spawn. So Now, the good thing here is if you're Chicago, not only are you holding down spawns, but look at the time in Hill. They've already got a 10-1 advantage, and that's huge in terms of trying to win this map. Normally, Hill's 1 and 5 that we talked about in the intro, you're just trying to stay even in Hill's 1 and 5. If you can rack up the points like this and hold down spawns, you're going to win this game in a blowout. And so right now there's about 21 seconds. Formal is just back here controlling spawns. Kills another person that tries to get in there with him. You can see RCD's in 2. Formal kills another person that's trying to push out spawns. So this is why ARs like Formal are so dominant. That's why they're so coveted on pro teams, is that if you can do this good of a job of locking down spawns, think about it. He's gotten 3 or 4 clutch kills holding down that back spawn, whereas if he wouldn't have gotten those kills, these hills easily could have flipped. They would have been spawned out. Looks like he ran out of ammo and he lost there. But you're going to see when he comes off spawn, he's going to spawn back behind bar. Actually, he spawned courtyard. So the only reason you would spawn courtyard here is if they're pushing out bar and they're pushing out water. So the only reason you would spawn in the middle is if they're on both sides of you. So that's a fairly good job from Minnesota there of splitting that spawn. And now you can see that Chicago is spawning out. However, there's only 25 seconds left, so it's not going to hurt too much. You're going to see as Formal gets this kill, he's just going to rotate. So he's not necessarily going to stay there. They're not going to push for the last 15 seconds there. He was trying to cut off that water's edge flank as they go to the third spawn, but he ended up dying. But that's not that big of a deal. Now, Minnesota, this is a mistake. Minnesota fought too long to get those last 7 or 8 seconds or so. It's 71-15, and if you look at the minimap in the top left-hand corner, or this is actually a good one. So Formal's been doing this a lot. He's been bringing up the map in the start menu, and essentially what you could pick up from there is that they have control of this back area, and they're pushed up into cuts. So not only do they have spawns, not only do they have control of the hard point, but they're also pushed up into the cuts, which won't allow Minnesota to get anywhere near the hill. So this is just a really dominant job so far. So far, we're at 100-15. All 3 of the hills have been dominated by Chicago, and this is not going well for Minnesota. As we move on towards the 4th hill, I don't know if you caught on with that there, but Gunless is behind them. So even though Formal died and is coming off spawn, look at the little green dot. On the left side over there, you can see a green dot that's really far pushed back in the enemy's location. So what he's trying to do, Gunless just got 2 in the back. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to flip those spawns. Here they're hopping on board with RCDs, which isn't really that beneficial. But you can see when Formal died again, now when he comes in, he's got that first hardpoint location spawn, which you don't really want all that much. You do want to try to push that out. But look at the kill feed in the bottom left. Formal got a kill, Seth got a kill, Formal got 2, Seth got another kill. So just in the last 10 seconds, RCD's envoy. So the slaying just happened, and that's how spawns get flipped. So even if, per se, Gunless went ahead and he pushed through there and he was able to get a couple, if you're not able to slay out after that, then spawns aren't going to flip. So you can do everything right, but if you don't have the slaying power, sometimes that's all. So nothing matters. Map position, spawns, nothing matters if you can't still slay out. So right now, Chicago is in that 4th hill. There's 10 seconds left. They're getting ready to transfer back to the 5th hard point right in the middle of the map, and you'll notice from the breakdown that we did at the beginning of this video, they have the spawns that you want. We want to continue to be on this side of the map, just because if you're on this side of the map, it doesn't necessarily matter too much for this 5th hard point or for the first hard point, but you can max out the 60 seconds for that second hard point. If they go half and half on this 5th hard point and half and half on the first hard point, they're still only going to need, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 seconds to win the game. They're already 173-39. So if we're talking about winning the game, just hold down this side of the map, catch all of the flanks, catch all of the pinch routes. That's what Formal did right there, is he killed somebody as they were pinching from behind. So 25 seconds left here. They're still controlling this hill. I don't know if they're going to get all of this time. It seems like if you're Minnesota, you would want to stop the bleeding here and try to stop this. I just think that they are not being very successful in the slaying column. So with about 10 seconds left, you just saw Formal bring up the map there, but when he leaves here, he's going to push out through the back towards that bar area, or at least that's what he should do. I don't know for sure, but 1 second left, 0 seconds, and Oh, he's seeing if anybody else is pushing. And then so this is exactly what I talked about. He pushes out back to that back courtyard. He's cutting off the mid lanes here, trying to get anybody that's flanking through middle. And then he's going to go provide support on that first hill. But you're going to see when he comes back up, they still have that back bar spawn. He spawns kind of towards mid-map, but it's still on that side of the map. So with about, I don't know how much is long in this game, but I wouldn't imagine that there's going to be too much. So with that, let's just go ahead. Let's let you get into a listen in. I'll step out for a second.
I think they're all there.
On a bar dead.
Pretty sure they're all there. Yeah, one's back. Back
bar, man. I'm P2.
I'll kill the guy top. Top's weak in bar. Assault.
Yeah, 2 back bar.
Assault's weak.
What the fuck?
Oh, what?
More guy courtyard as well.
Fucking
Yeah, they don't want us to break.
That was chaos. That's fine, bro. We got all that.
Look at the scar.
Like, what the hell?
God.
What happened?
Dumpster dead.
Top bar.
Isip got 360.
I'm in hope set the middle.
That's
one on full set, one on full.
Bottom blue, bottom blue.
Front door.
Wait, what's
He's mid-map, Silly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Silly's a blue dump, guys. Silly's blue dump.
I did not expect that.
I don't think
I
anyone.
gotta get river.
Send that blue dump.
I'm helping you left.
He's some river. He's just piecing.
I spawned right. I don't.
All right, so I am going to hop back on board with you here. It's 238 to 64. I don't think they only need 12 seconds. Chicago only needs 12 seconds to win, but I don't think they're going to get it here. I can't imagine that they'd be able to push this out. They're going to try. They're going to make a valiant effort, but it doesn't seem like you'd be able to push that out with the spawns they were getting, and they didn't have map location. So at this point in time, if I'm Chicago, just give it up. Everybody, just all 5 that come off spawn, just go to the next hard point. Go to that third hard point on the opposite side of the map. To me, that would be the smarter play. You only need 11 seconds, so just cut off these lanes. That's kind of what they were doing there. Formal right there. I might have you turned down a little bit too low, but he was calling out that person's going from Lion to top hazmat. We talked about in that the beginning intro that teams have started to do that rather than stay on the ground. They've been going up into hazmat. Formal's dying quite a few times in a row here, but his team is doing a decent job. They are in hill. I can't imagine this will get broken. This has to be the end of the game. 245 to 99. Do we get a 100-point club? Formal with a kill on the left flank. Somebody got through. So that person that got through right there had to have gone top hazmat. All of the lanes, if you were watching the minimap, all of those lanes were locked down. So Water's Edge over here was locked down. Mid-map was locked down. So they had to come from up top. I'm a little sad that they're not going to get 100-point clubs. It looks like that'll be it. Yep, that's it. So what was it, 250 to 107? Not the closest of games, but you could see from that beginning map breakdown that they held down the vast majority of the spots that you want to hold down on this map. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as we get into the CDL. I cannot wait to break down these things live. I know these scrims are also good and fun to break down, but I really do want to focus towards the actual tournaments and the big time matchups and where things went right and where things went wrong. So if you're new around here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like before you head on your way. And with that, I will catch you in the next one. We'll see you.